Cygnus the Magnificent.
Welcome to Stargazers. I'm James Alberry.
And I'm Marlene Hidalgo.
And I'm Dean Regas. And we're here to help you be sure you know what you're seeing in the night sky when you look up.
Now that autumn has begun in the Northern Hemisphere, it's time to say farewell to the constellations that kept us company all summer long.
That's right, and one of the most beloved of these constellations is Cygnus the Swan. Even from brightly lit cities, this is a constellation that's easy to find.
But did you know that Cygnus has both a poetic and a scientific history that rivals many of the constellations we can see? Well, let's show you. Okay, we have our skies set for just after sunset any night this week. Almost directly overhead, you can see the familiar stars of the Summer Triangle. Vega, the brightest star in Lyra the Harp, Altair, the brightest star in Aquila the Eagle, and Deneb, the brightest star in Cygnus the Swan. Cygnus the Swan has been an area of fascination for storytellers and astronomers alike for thousands of years.
To find the Swan, simply draw a line from Deneb inward toward the center of the Summer Triangle. The first star you'll encounter is Satyr, also known as Gamma Cygni. This marks the heart of the Swan. Then, if you draw lines to the west and east of this star, you'll find two more stars, Eta and Omicron Cygni. These mark the right and left wings of the Swan. Going back to the star Satyr, we continue to draw a line inward to form the neck of the Swan, ending at the star Alberio.
In one legend, Cygnus the Swan is said to be the great musician Orpheus, who was transformed into a swan and placed in the sky next to his harp, the constellation Lyra.
In another legend, Cygnus is said to be Zeus when he transformed himself into a swan to seduce Leda, the mother of Helen of Troy, Clytemnestra, and the Gemini twins Castor and Pollux.
However, in modern times, Cygnus has turned out to be a place of great discoveries. During a rocket flight in 1964, a galactic X-ray source known as Cygnus X1 was discovered, and it's now accepted to be the first black hole identified. And Cygnus X1 is estimated to have a mass almost 15 times that of our Sun, but is smaller than most major cities.
In more recent times, Cygnus has been the target of study by NASA's Kepler Space Telescope, which is studying over 100,000 stars in Cygnus. Its goal is to find planets orbiting other stars, and in the past year, several of these extrasolar planets have been confirmed. The planet Kepler-22b was recently announced as being the first Earth-like planet orbiting a Sun-like star. This planet is over 600 light years away and orbits in the habitable zone, where liquid water can exist. With a possible surface temperature near 73 degrees Fahrenheit, Kepler-22b is quite the Goldilocks planet, if I do say so myself.
Speaking of planets, Marlene, show us what our planets are doing this week.
Okay, we have our skies set for just after sunset, and if you look to the west, low on the horizon, you might be able to catch one last look at the ringed planet Saturn before it moves into the morning sky.
Also low on the horizon, you'll be able to see the evening return of the tiny planet Mercury. Mercury is traveling around the Sun at over 100,000 miles per hour. So if you've been watching Mercury during the year, it's been zooming back and forth from evening to morning to evening sky.
Just to the left of Saturn, you can find the red planet Mars. Mars is in the constellation Libra and relatively close to its rival Antares, the red supergiant star marking the heart of Scorpius the Scorpion. You can see Mars cradled in the Scorpion's claws, and as the days pass, it creeps closer and closer to the dreaded Scorpion.
And lastly, for you early birds, within an hour before sunrise, you can see the giant planet Jupiter almost directly overhead in the constellation of Taurus the Bull. And if you look toward the east, the dazzling planet Venus gets cozy with the bright star Regulus, the heart of Leo the Lion.
Well, there you have it, a beautiful swan that is the center of a great modern discovery.
Saturn, Mercury, and Mars in the evening.
And Jupiter and Venus, a pair of morning dazzlers.
Keep looking up.